First, we begin tonight with just released video of the Manuel Ellis arrest, the African-American man who died while being arrested in Tacoma. His death at the hands of police bring new calls tonight for justice and police reform.
This is the most recent video released of Manuel Ellis's deadly encounter with Tacoma police officers March 3rd. We slowed the video down. You can see an officer pull Ellis backward in a brief chokehold. Then you see Ellis raise his hands once and then a second time. The video contradicts what attorneys for the 4 Tacoma police officers said in a statement last week. Quote, "No one choked Mr. Ellis," the attorney's statement said. Not at all.
Clearly, based on this video, that's not true.
The attorney for Ellis's family says it also contradicts statements the Pierce County Sheriff's Department has made. On June 4th, spokesman Ed Troyer flat out denied that Ellis was tased.
They didn't use pepper spray, they didn't use a taser.
But an officer is clearly seen using a taser in the video, and a medical examiner's report confirmed that. James Bible, an attorney for the Ellis family, says the video is damning.
Ultimately, what we see here is an absolute disregard for human life, and then the indignity of the cover-up following it.
Kristen, based on that video, an attorney for the Ellis family is now calling for Tacoma's chief to step down. Is that right?
Yes, Joyce, that video was actually shot by a passerby, and in it you can see as an officer briefly uses a chokehold technique on Manuel Ellis while a second officer uses a taser on him, even though authorities and attorneys for the officers have previously denied that either of those things happened. Police Chief Don Ramsdell has said the investigation precludes him from saying much about Ellis. But today, Ramsdell announced the department is working on a series of new policy changes, including, among other things, banning chokeholds and strangleholds, requiring officers to issue a warning before shooting, and requiring officers to intervene if a fellow officer uses clear excessive force. But Bible says those changes are not enough, and tonight called for Chief Ramsdell to step down.
The city of Tacoma needs something new. They need a change in terms of their leadership. They need a change in terms of their chief specifically.
But in a statement, an attorney for the officers said the video shows nothing new. Quote, "These video clips do not present the aha moments that proponents wish to create," attorney Michael Staropoli said. Instead, they both corroborate and confirm much of what investigators are likely to already know about the encounter.
News alert on King 5 News at noon. A historic decision in our state. 3 Tacoma police officers are criminally charged for killing Manuel Ellis. 2 of them are charged with murder, 1 with manslaughter, more than a year after Ellis died.
Now, the reaction to this news has been met with a wide range of emotions from community organizers and leaders here in Tacoma. They have ranged from celebration to cautious optimism. I've had a chance to sit down and speak to some of the organizers here in Tacoma who have said that although they are encouraged by these charges and they do appreciate Attorney General Bob Ferguson looking at all of the facts and making the correct choice, they also understand that the work is still not done. You have to keep in mind that they have been waiting for this decision for over a year. And so although they have said that this is a good first step, that they are now waiting to see what will happen after this, because it is not enough for them to be convicted, but the officers also need to be found guilty as well. And other community organizers said that they are waiting for the other 3 officers to have charges filed against them as well.
Officer Christopher Burbank on the left there, Officer Matthew Collins in the middle are both charged with second-degree murder. Officer Timothy Rankin on the right is charged with first-degree manslaughter. That decision was just announced by the Attorney General within the hour. We have team coverage for you today. I'm Steve Bunin. Our Lionel Donovan joining us now with more from Tacoma. Lionel.
That's right, Steve. And this is actually, as you were saying earlier, this is a historic decision because this is the first time in Washington's history that an attorney general has filed criminal charges against law enforcement officers for the use of deadly force. Now, when it comes to second-degree murder, the standard sentencing for that offense is around 10 to 18 years in prison with no prior criminal history. In regards to first-degree manslaughter, the standard sentencing is 6.5 to 8.5 years in prison. However, the maximum sentencing for both of these offenses is life in prison.
The attorney for the Ellis family went on to say that an announcement from Governor Inslee about the independent investigation that is pending could come as early as tomorrow. Live in Tacoma, Kristen Ayers, King 5 News.